Let's go to your party. What's happening to the PDP? There are currently 2 court orders from Court of Concurrent Jurisdiction. One saying go ahead, one saying don't go ahead.
Well, it's unfortunate. Like I said in an interview a few days ago, when I see myself as part of the founding, members of the party, I didn't know it is what will eclipse again in my living memory. So it is very painful. You can see how painful it is for me. And when people like Alex Ekwemo, who suffer so much, for those persons not alive. So how many people do we consult? We've been talking with a couple of friends, Jerry Ghana and some others, and we're thinking what to do. But whether the party can come back together, see, once there's a major split like this, it's difficult. This group suspends this group, the other one counters the suspension by giving their own suspension. So the loggerhead is no more a political loggerhead. It's like a war front, because you don't see anything good in anybody anymore, only yourself. And once political crisis reaches that stage, then it is almost irreconcilable and becomes irreversible too. So, but like I said, normally I don't give hope. We're meeting again tomorrow, Friday, to look at which way. That's the only thing I can say for now. Maybe in future we'll discuss about it, knowing again what development that will come out of this split that has just happened.
But just to put it mildly, Nigerians feel that the party is causing a lot of nuisance and wondering whether they are not tired of the news, their endless crisis.
Well, it's unfortunate. That's what poor leadership brings about. You don't manufacture leadership on the streets. People have to exhibit the innate qualities, and it's only when you give them a position that you see those qualities playing out. You can't stoke out what you don't have. So the quality of going to school is not about. It doesn't make you a leader. You can win an election. You can be a governor. That doesn't make it. Is what you do with that office you hold that makes you a leader. You become a governor, running siren on the highest way. But if somebody comes to your state and sees good roads, and sees water running, and sees lights for your people, then you become a leader, because a leader has a lot of hope and trusted in him on behalf of people. That's why they voted for him, because they believe he can do A, B, or C. And if he enters into office and he cannot do A, B, or C, it becomes unfortunate. And there's no other way to change it. Then it becomes a violent. People start thinking of violent processes to change that system.
Some time ago, some members of the party believed that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was a problem of the party. Now he has left the party, yet the party is not yet able to find its bearing. Can we now conclusively say that Atiku Abubakar was not the problem of PDP?
Well, he is the problem, and he's still the problem.
How?
Because, if you instigate, when you leave a party that you founded, rose to be a vice president in that party, ran for office about 2 or 3 times in that party, and you suddenly form another party, that's injurious. You're not Hail Mary. That's a serious injury. Because he knows that most of the people in that party went in there because of him. And most of them will also leave because of him, as it has happened now. That is in AD or ADC, whatever the name of the formation is. So even if he does not physically or by spoken word condemn the party, his actions speak louder than a voice, speaks louder than the common words, because he's not there. And you can see top members of the party who have joined him. That's a loss for PDP in many parts of this country. Anybody who is deceiving himself about that is not being honest.
Why would the party deny a strong member of that party like Sule Lamido from contesting for the chairmanship of the party?
Well, even though it's not constitutional, in this country, people do a lot of things on compromise. That's why you see zoning. The word zoning, the only way we represent it in the Nigerian constitution is that federal character. That's the equivalent of zoning. When you say federal character, it means that A takes, B should take, C should take. So in political parties, we say you zone offices. And in PDP, the national chairmanship was zoned to North Central. Because the presidency will come from somewhere else. Deputy Vice President will come from somewhere else. President of Senate and Speaker will come from different places. So it was zoned to North Central, and had expected both APC and PDP in the last exercise had their chairman from North Central. Why should Sule Mohammed, Lamido, come out from North West to want to be? They will hold that, and by the time you wake up in the morning, they are running for president again.
All right, looking at the party right now, a lot of people believe that it has pressed the self-destruct button. As presently constituted, do you see the party strong enough to still challenge for the presidency in 2027?
Well, it will be daydreaming to start thinking of 2027 now. Okay, the instinct of self-survival is what we're praying for. If the party survives, then you can start thinking of 2027. So between now and next year, a lot of things will happen. It's either it survives by the two now factions, that's what it is. Because at least one section now have I think both sides now have their chairman. So if we're able to come together, resolve the internal crisis, that would be wonderful. If not, it's a morning breakfast for President Tinubu, because whatever serious effort he would have made to be in office, he can afford his new home. I thought Nigeria is in a place called Paris, so he can afford to go there and start running the affairs of our country from Paris. I couldn't be bothered either way. So it's unfortunate, but if I tell you that I have any good hope of the two sides coming together, it could happen. It could be magical. It could be miraculous. But the people I'm looking at is difficult, because once serious positions, negative positions are taken, you don't see the room for compromise. But like I said, we'll start talking tomorrow. The other side, they're also meeting. I don't want to refer to them to the other side, because I don't belong to any side. I have spoken with all the sides yesterday. So, but if the other side invite me to a meeting, they didn't invite me. One side has invited me, and I said, instead of going back to Enugu today, I'm staying to attend their meeting and ask questions. And from there, we see the word is, the phrase is the way forward. Where are we going from here? And if you don't attend the meeting, you can't offer an opinion on the way forward. So, if the other side invites me to, I'll attend and ask them, what is the way forward? And from such meetings, you will know whether actually there are external factors helping to do what is happening in PDP. I don't want to be stupid enough to believe that somebody in his party, if he makes me to destroy my party, then I'm the foolish person. I'm not the person. I'll be this idiot. If you're asked to burn down your house and you burn it, you say, it's Chief Ulasi who told you to do that. You must be very stupid. So if people in APC will use some elements in our party to do that, then that shows that we don't have leaders in PDP. That's the unfortunate summary you can make.
Well, the PDP has lost substantial goodwill with the collapse of its structure in Enugu, in Delta, in Akwa Ibom, and now Bayelsa. As presently constituted with all these heavy blow to the PDP, what are the chances that it can still make an impact in the South? Because the way things are looking now, it seems as if it's a divide and rule tactics, that the APC is grabbing the South and the PDP is holding to the North.
Well, there is no, presently speaking, in terms of governance or government, there is no PDP in the South, East and South. Apart from apart from the, I'm talking of PDP, apart from what appears to be PDP in Rivers State. You can explain exactly what is going on there. So Abia is Labour. Let us watch again for how long it remains Labour. So it will be unfortunate if a governor like Abia, like Oti, who is doing very well, like Enugu governor. I said it in my last interview, I don't know in which station, that both of them are the best performing governors in this country. Very good. If you enter Enugu, nobody will tell you that. You think it was a period of M.I. Opera. He's doing very well. So I don't know what informed him. But when you look at the crisis in the party now, you can see that they therefore anticipated that there was no leadership in the PDP. So why do they remain in a place? They might not have nomination to run for a second term after whatever they had achieved. So it's also some element of self-preservation. If you are doing a good work, you want it to continue. At least constitutionally, you have 2 terms to do it. Most of them are in their first term. And if the party does not offer them a future with their good performance, they have the inalienable right to want to have a future for themselves. And if they believe APC it is, no, you don't blame them. I would have wanted them for us all to come back together and think of whether to form a new party, which is the beginning of what I will do tomorrow. When I get back to Enugu, I'm scheduled to have meetings with Enugu governor. We'll sit down and exhaust the future. But all I told them that I will never join APC with them. Instead, I will just retire and watch whatever is happening. There are areas I cannot enter. Normally, since I have done politics, I've never moved from one party to the other. Never moved, not one day. If I feel tired of what is happening, people don't listen to me, I go to my house and sit down. I can't, I don't know why you formed APC. I wasn't where you formed it. I didn't know what was your concept, what was your thinking. So how do I just jump into it and start telling you what you will do? I will look foolish. I had a place I helped to form. We had a view. We ran a government for 16 years. We may not have done wonderfully well. But the first 8 years, Obasanjo did wonderfully well in getting all our debt, dissolved, as it were. Some we paid some, and the others were forgiven. So was a big achievement. I didn't know what Harry did in his 8 years. Instead, he accumulated more debt from the one we paid off, and that's where we are today. So PDP, the future is bleak. I think that's the best way to put it. It's bleak, but it's not, and it's going towards irreversibility, which should be terrible. I don't believe that anything is irreversible, but there are concepts you see. You find it difficult to see which way. There are people you see in politics, you don't take them for granted. You may not like their face. Politics is not about your liking somebody's face, but looking at the actions and his ability, his capacity to take certain actions. Then you have to be careful the way you deal with the person. It's either you're ready to confront him one by one, or you sit down and compromise and discuss. That is what politics is all about. You cannot stay in your bedroom, this person is this. That is not about what this person is. You don't like Kingsley's face. That's your business if you don't like his face. But he is this. He was governor for 8 years. He's minister of FCT. No matter how he gets there, he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer registered in Nigeria. There are things about him that are incontrovertible. All you may not like, you and I, is his methodology. That's all you may not like. But you cannot tell me that 8 years I haven't seen one person who will get up to tell you that he did not perform in Rivers. Nobody. Not even his enemies in Rivers State. That emirs, sultan, igwes were coming to commission projects. They were not commissioning empty projects because they are seeing life. Where there were commission projects completed in his first 2 years, 4 years, 8 years. I don't live in Abuja, but people also tell me that he's making some differential progress in Abuja. Areas where people didn't have roads before, the tarring roads, asphalting them, even with the crisis he has back home. So I normally want to appreciate people. I tell you, there has to be a level of appreciation. Don't be just Mr. No Good. You are not good. I mean, nobody is good. You are the only one who is good. Are you God? How can you be the only one? Even if your enemy is doing well, appreciate him. At least you have, your conscience will be free. That if you pass through a good road and somebody built it, and you ask who built it, they say it's a Shivdan Ulasi. You might as well sigh. But you cannot deny that it's a good road and you're passing through it. You don't condemn, everything that somebody does. No, nobody does that.
Some people are wondering why it is difficult for the PDP to act on the FCT minister Wike. It looks as if the party is going left. He says he's going right.
Which is the party now? That's he says. He says he looks at it. This is the mistake you're making. Which is the party? No, who is the PDP now? You can see the other day, Professor Jerry Ghana mentioned about a couple of 4 or 5 names. Sought for interview with him. Probably today I will know the result of their meeting if they met, because he's become a force on his own. He's virtually in APC theoretically. In fact, theoretically in PDP, but practically in APC, because he's ready for battle. He's started the battle.
And people can't suspend him.
Well, who suspends who now? There has been suspension now. You're just drowning your own voice. The other side, Damagun suspended one side, and the other side suspended Damagun. And it is believed that the other side is pro-APC, whatever, whomsoever they are pro to, and the other one is pro-Wike. So either way you look at it, if they are pro-APC, the Damagun group, they are also pro-Wike. Because Wike is in APC supporting the president. And if the other side, the national secretary side, is supporting Wike, so it means again at the end of the day that the two sides are supporting one person. And it looks ridiculous to me why they are fighting in the first place. This is part of the questions I'll be asking tomorrow. Where are the loyalties? Because it has to be fundamental. Where are the loyalties? Is it to the people? If to the people, how? Find out our governors, if whatever number that is still remaining, if by tomorrow most of them will not have gone. And like I said in my interview, I think it was on AIT, I said, if the governors were functional, they are the people who would have started this recovery. Calling a meeting, because they had tremendous authority. Somebody running a state has a lot of authority, a lot of finance, and make contact, offer opinions, and they have the resources to implement whatever decisions they take. And if they were in love or they had any good feelings for this party that brought them into national limelight, so they will not forget that it was PDP that made them whatever they are, politically speaking. So they would have at least made a little effort to see whether the party will survive. Instead, the effort they make is when who will be presidential candidate, who will be vice, who will be this. That's not the survival of the party, because the party has to survive because candidates emerge. If you don't have a plan, now there's no platform.
Is there really trust within the party right now, especially among the governors that who are voices or influential figures in the party, that those who shout today we are doing this, the next day you hear they are now embracing the umbrella? Is there any trust? Can anybody be trusted?
Well, that's the question. The word trust is in politics. I doubt if it exists now. The only trust, that if you're seeking for a particular office and you're able to get nomination and you win an election, then you can say the party is there's trust in the process that brought you up. Beyond that, the trust is selfish trust. Trust on who? For who? You can the governor in Taraba and some other place. I don't know whether they have joined APC, because before they split, there were already indications that they were moving. Look at the Bayelsa governor that I attended 2 or 3 meetings he called. He told me I came. We had Southern PDP meeting in Lagos. From there, we all went to Abuja with Oyo governor to discuss our future. Where are they now? Where are they? He resigned from PDP just before the split. So you don't know whom you are discussing with. That's the explanation of the trust. If I had trusted in so much, that would be foolish trust, because you're trusting somebody, as we are discussing now, planning what to do tomorrow. And tomorrow, actually, you're expecting that decisions we have reached to be implemented. And I see you or you see me doing something else. Well, is that trust? So the word trust is kind of flexible. It depends on who is trusting and from where he's trusting from, where he's going with his trust. For what purpose? Is it collective interest or is it selfish interest?
Well, reaction to